Hi, my name is Nikita. I will be interviewing you today. We will have a mock SQL interview. I prepared and I will share several SQL tasks. Feel free to ask any questions. Just ask questions if you don't know. How are you doing?
Great. I didn't prepare, but I want to know my SQL level because I worked only in ClickHouse. That's why maybe I make some errors.
I think it's okay, yeah. We are here to practice. It's great that you decided to participate. I will share the link to the code repad where we will solve our SQL. Just give me 1 second. Just share the link, copy the first task there. Could you share your screen? And
yeah, of course.
let's start. In total, we have 3 tasks today. This is like the first one.
The task is to analyze the total transaction amount of customers and identify those with high spending. Write a query to find customers who spend more than $500 in total. The result should include the customer name, total amount, and the number of transactions they made. Sort the results by total amount in descending order.
Okay. Of transactions. Every transaction is unique. Can I use a count, or maybe I should use a unique method?
Yes, transactions in transactions table are unique.
Okay. I think that's the solution.
Could you just once again read what is needed and explain your solution?
Write a query, find customers who spend more than 500 in total. It must include customer name, total amount, and number of transactions they made. Sort the result by total amount in descending order. I used table customers have customer ID and customer name. If they have customer name, we should join it the table transactions, because transactions has more rows than customers, and we are using by key customer ID and group by it, but by customer name, and having total amount more than 500, because where is working earlier than group by, having work after, and we are ordering it by total amount.
Awesome, was good. Just one, I think, small thing in having, just misspelling of total amount. Just could you fix it?
What?
Yeah, you see, like in having clause.
Total amount.
Clause.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but it just now it's good. Yeah, I think everything is good. Well, let's go to the second task, and just maybe quick feedback for me when an interviewer is assessing your skills. It's important to understand how are you thinking. If it will be beneficial if you will maybe just talk about the goal of the task first, and also when you are writing, or just after that you can explain your thoughts for me.
Sorry, I think my English is bad because I do it quietly.
At least you can just read once again out loud the task, and just okay, I need to find the customers with total amount 500. Okay, I need customer name with total amount now. Okay, let's go. Then you may write the query, and after that you can say, it's my solution. Yeah, I can just explain it. So something like this. We're here to practice, so just don't feel to be afraid to make mistakes, and just if your English is not good, it's the right place to practice it.
Okay, thank you. I will try to make it.
Okay. Task number 2.
Task 2. Identify the latest transaction made by each customer. Write a query to return each customer name, transaction ID, transaction date, and amount of the most recent transaction for each customer.
By each customer, so which database we are using?
You can choose whatever you want, or we can just Postgres.
Yeah, okay.
Quite popular. If you know Postgres, or if you...
I will try, because
you can use whatever syntax you want. You can use whatever syntax you want. Just explain your solution after it.
So we need to return customer.
And could you just a little press like enter several times just to see the code, not the bottom of the screen?
Oh, sorry.
For others, just too easy to see. Yeah.
Transaction ID and transaction date.
But of course, here I want to see you are using like something like window functions, right?
Maybe.
Let's do it in your way, and then we can discuss some other ways how to solve it. Okay. Don't think about it. Sorry for the disruption. Just do what you do.
Yeah, I think to get we need to get transaction ID. If maybe window function maybe most optimal, but I don't know how.
Yeah, how are you thinking about? Yeah. Give your solution, and after it we will discuss other ways.
So about customers. Customers. We will join by customer ID. If we use Postgres, so
yeah, you can use whatever you want syntax.
no, I will try to use Postgres just because I will run Snowflake next time, next week. So I will use select customer. Transaction ID. Date. Oh my God, do we have a limit by in Postgres or not? If we don't have, I don't remember. We don't have. Maybe I will use by this. Transaction. It will be a strange solution. Okay, don't remember. Will we have on Postgres a limit by? That's why I'll make something like this. If it was a real interview, because I need to result something. In transaction ID. Wait, so customer ID and I think it will work, but it's really strange. Transactions. Transactions and works. Transaction date. Transactions and group. And I think that's all. So in that solution, I will use concat to find the customer ID and the latest transaction date, and get them to get current transaction ID and join it to get customer name.
Let's discuss some other solutions. First of all, can you do, instead of subquery, can you do CTE?
What?
Do you know what is CTE, common table expression?
Yeah.
For me,
yeah,
it will be easier
use
to
it.
understand.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I forgot.
No, it's fine. You can use subqueries, but just for just when it's a little bit harder to understand when it's subquery.
Join TRS. Yeah, I think it will be like this.
Okay, got it. Yeah, just
and here.
Yeah, let's go through it. So you're selecting these three: customer ID, transaction ID, and transaction date. Transaction date, I think, just could you fix some spelling mistake there? Transaction date in CT.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay, transaction date from then you just put it like any from transactions.
I must get latest transaction by
so
every customer.
Yeah, you can cut in the customer ID and transaction date. We got it, and you are looking for customer ID and transaction date, and you are doing cutting customer ID with maximum transaction date. Okay.
I really don't remember. Does Postgres have a limit by? That's why I don't make a decision by transaction date and get only one by limit by. Or if we work in ClickHouse, I will make argmax, which get transaction from maximum date. But I know that in Postgres we don't have something like this. That's why I think that window function will be get another result. That's why I think it will be more optimal.
From transactions, why you are adding? Okay, why you are adding group by?
Because we must group by customer ID, and then can cut the result that will be which we sorry check this with where.
I see, because you have max functions, you are group by. Yeah. Okay. And then
which way may be more optimal?
For this one, I understand your logic. It looks fine for me, but I don't know if it will work. So it's maybe better to ask to double check if it will work. But yeah, I understand your logic, and your logic seems fine. I just can show you how to solve it with window function, just because I use it a lot and it's quite popular. And just I think on interviews, interviewers, they are looking for that window functions. I can just show you how it's like done. Yeah, maybe. So you just
sorry, I must repeat window functions. It's my bad.
No, it's fine. Just you will just
in our MySQL version we don't have it. That's why we might use something another.
Yeah, I see. Okay, let's discuss window function, and that's it. So you need to find latest transaction by each customer. So let's just take transactions table, and then I can just let's do it without. Or we can do customer name, transaction ID, and transaction date, and then I just left join customers and by customer ID. I just joined, so that's how I get customer name, and then I have transaction ID and transaction date. In order to find the latest transaction, I will use window functions row number. Row number just counts the number of the row number in certain order, and I need to put this row number by customer ID, yes, and I need to order by transactions date. Transaction date in I think in descending order, because if it will be in descending order, the biggest date will have row number 1 as a rank. These window functions will put like 1, like the first number will be the latest transaction date for this customer.
Oh yeah.
And we can
filter it by where,
And window function, to filtering by this field, we can't use where because it's window function. There are two possible options. We can use this CTE. I don't know. We can use CTE like this. Let's select from tab where, and here we will use where 1, and here we can use customer name, transaction ID, transaction date. Yeah, and this is how we are finding this. Or another solution, it's like this. I think works for most. For Postgres, it definitely works, and for most database, maybe not for all. For some modern databases, you can just even do it without CTE. For example, in Snowflake, there is like a special function called qualify. It's just like a heading, but for window functions. You can just do like this, equals 1. And yeah, so this is like a solution. You just filter by window function with the qualify equals 1. And yeah, that's it. Just like, especially this one, it's just, yeah, but you should not like qualify. It's not like so popular. In most cases, I would use like CTE. Your solution is also just in terms of like correctness. I think it's okay. Just I need to double check. Goal on the interview to show different knowledge of different functions. It's just good to repeat that. Yeah. So let's go to the last task. I just copied.
Dmitry told me to learn Snowflake because I work only with ClickHouse, and maybe 2 years ago I worked with MySQL. That's why I will. Can I copy it to then to?
Of course. Also, we are recording this session, so you'll be able to see it. But yeah, please copy it if you need it. Of course. And of course, Snowflake is really popular right now, and it depends where you are looking for a job in what market. Maybe it depends on the market. There are different popular solutions. I am in Canada and in North America. For example, Snowflake is extremely popular. Yeah, so it's better to learn it. I think ClickHouse is not popular here.
Yeah, it's specific database, especially on-premise service. That's why I will now I learn about AWS, and then I will go to Snowflake.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the task number 3.
Task 3. Identify customers who made transactions in consecutive months. Write a query to find the customer ID, transaction month, and next transaction month.
Consecutive, what it means? Sorry.
Consecutive.
One by one.
Okay, if we had a transaction in January and in February, in 2 months in a row, we want to find these customers.
All right, query to find customer ID. We have customer transaction. Must use window function.
It's not a must. You can choose whatever solution you want. If you're not confident with window functions right now, do your solution. And after that, I will show you how to solve it with window function.
I must to return customer ID and every transaction month, yeah? It's January, February. If some customer has 12 transaction months, I will show every month.
Yes. You can start like, okay, let's start with, can you find just all customers that made at least one, that had at least one consecutive month period? Just like, let's start with like more simple task. If a customer had...
I think it's not about window functions. I must pivot query to get the result. Or maybe I don't understand the question.
Let's just once again go through the question. We identify customers who made transactions in consecutive months. We have a customer who made a transaction in January and February. Yeah, we should get this customer. If another customer made transaction in January and next transaction was in March, we should not count this. They should have made transactions in consecutive months. So between the months there should be any other, like it should be like January, February, or like I don't know, August, September transactions. You know, if there were like some other months between without transactions, like he made a transaction in September and then in December, we should not include this customer.
Check every month. Then I must some customer have one consecutive. No, I think it can be solved without window function. It can be solved, but I don't. So now I get customer ID and start of month, so I must go by it first. Which transaction? Or which customer have? Maybe. I will get every unique month, and then I must check if he has, if it's consecutive months. How can I check it? Okay. If some I don't know how to solve it.
No, it's fine.
Don't have any idea.
Let me show, one of the solutions.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We are learning here. Let me, write it here. So we have one of the solution. So what we need to do, I maybe show you how I would recommend and how I'm passing such SQL tasks, just in general. So first of all, I'm always trying to read the task out loud, or at least I'm talking out loud about the goal. Identify customers who made transactions in consecutive months. Use the transactions table below, write query to find customer ID, transaction months, and next transaction months. Output should be customer ID, transaction months, okay, and next transaction months. These are the columns in an output, right? Okay, and I need to identify customer who made in consecutive. Consecutive, if I don't know, I will ask the interviewer, or just I can say, yeah, consecutive means that, okay, if a customer made a transaction in January, and then this customer made transaction in February, it means like that he made the transactions in consecutive months. And we just have one table, transactions. First of all, I see that we need to find these consecutive months, and we have a date. So I need to transfer my date into months, okay? Yeah, let's just do it. Select from transactions table, and we need customer ID, right? We need customer ID, and we need to transform our date into months. So I will use the trunc function. And there are some other functions, but I will use this one. Month and transaction date, and I can call it transaction month. All right, yeah, I think I can use like distinct to find just a unique combination of customer ID and transaction month. All right, we made it, and so next step will be to find next transaction month. Let's just have like this in tab 1 in a CTE, just for the convenience. And we will use this CTE in our next query. So I have customer ID, I have transaction month, I need to find next transaction month. And to find next transaction month, I will use one of the window functions. And for this, I will use a lead window function. Lead window function checks the next transaction month. Of course, we need to find next transaction months by customer ID. Yeah, so we need to find next transaction months for the specific customer. Yeah, and of course, we need to add order by transaction months to have the right order, and it will find like next transaction months. It actually goes and just checks for each customer. It order by transaction months, and it will take the next value of transaction months from the next row. And this is how we get, I think, next transaction month, right?
What? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think we will write maybe if it's January, next transaction month is February. I think we must column like February, and if it's okay or not.
Yeah, I will do it in
so
the next.
it
So
was
this
my bad.
will be like, no, it's okay. So and this is like, okay, it will be like tab number 2, and in the last tab, I will, check this, that you mentioned. We need also customer ID. We will need transaction months, and we will need next transaction months from tab 2. And yes, we need to filter. We want to find only to leave only those rows that have I would say I will do it by using date diff. I will compare these two months, and I can say if the difference between these 2 months is just 1, it means that these months are consecutive, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so something like this, and here something like this, and it should equal 1. And this is, I think this is it. I just use this lead function just to find the next transaction month. Actually, that's it. In total, yeah, that's it for the tasks for today. You definitely have like a knowledge of SQL. You need just
yeah, that was really bad today.
You was okay. You just don't remember some specific functions because you don't use it in your current work. So you just need to go to some SQL websites and find some SQL exercises. Like, I don't know, I like Data Lemur website where there are a lot of free and not free exercises. I will share in the chat datalemur.com. There are some different levels, difficulty levels. You can just start, I don't know, with medium and then just go by hard. You just need to practice. You should understand the key window functions. The key window functions, in my opinion, is row number. It may be rank. It is lead and lag, and of course some aggregations with window functions, something like this. Now count, and that's it. Yeah, this is the key window function, and of course you need to know different type of joins and some like having where, but I think you know it already. The second thing you should, while are you solving the task, yeah, as I said, it's better to just read the task out loud, or at least read the main part out loud, and just try to think out. So, okay, we have this one, our output, like these 3 columns, so how we can get it. I will use this table and I will use these operations. Then you just write your query, and then you should try to explain yourself your logic, because it will help me or like any other interviewer to understand how you are thinking. Yeah, this is the most important thing. Doing some interviews for like some analysts or analytics engineer positions, I'll ask this stuff. When you like solve maybe 1-2 weeks, you'll be more comfortable and you'll just write it, because in most cases, yeah, the window functions is the last and the hardest part. You don't need to, or maybe for data engineering position, you will have more specific data modeling questions or some others, but for just leave SQL, I think it's just enough. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I think I was bad, and I understand that I must read it loudly because my opinion was different from the task. That's why I think another, and I didn't solve it. It was my bad. Sorry.
Totally fine. So you can practice, and maybe in a month or in 2 months we can just repeat our session.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Have a good day. Yeah, and yeah, see you next time.